Okay, the meaning is if you throw yourself up from a mountain, then all of a sudden an angel come to carry you, it's gonna be a wow situation. Wow, look at this, look at what's happening. It's a huge miracle, okay? So this kind of a show off. Show off your power, show off your authority, so people can come to you. And again, just refuse this. No, my way is not miracle. Although he will do many miracles later on in his mission. But he refused to listen to Satan, to make the miracle the way to come to Jesus. You have to come to Jesus because you love him, because you want to be with him. Miracle happen or not happen doesn't affect our relationship with Christ. That's why St. Paul said we go by faith. We don't go by eyesight. We don't go by miracle. We refuse to do the miracle, okay? So making a show, now, of course, I'm sure you have seen a lot of preachers in America preach by show. You look at them, they don't speak really about Christ or about kingdom of heaven or kingdom of God. They make a show. When they raise their voice, decrease their voice, they have sound effect, they have music, it's a show. I said, no, that's not my way to make a show. I want somebody to come to me, to follow me the right way. Then the third temptation, which is, what's the third temptation? To come up in a high mountain, and it said, give you everything if you bow down and worship me. And just said, away from me, Satan, because it's written, you should only serve the Lord, and him only you shall worship. So again, what's the point of it? If devil offer you everything in the world to make a deal with you, to worship him, said, no, I don't want anything from you. Why? Because everything the devil gives to you will take it back in the other hand. Not only that, but everything the devil gives to you, it will look nice from the outside, but have a lot of pain and sorrow from the inside. For example, devil can give you freedom. Come with me, I show you freedom. He don't tell you freedom will take you maybe into getting drug addict or having immoral relationship or being accustomed to abuse by other people. It's under the freedom title, okay? So come to me, I'll give you wealth, I'll give you money. But until you get the money by bribery or by theft or by embezzlement, which you can end up in jail. So never trust devil give you anything. And don't take anything from the devil hand. So no, I don't want anything from you. I take from God's hand, not from the devil hand. Okay? That was the meaning of the three temptations. And all of them just respond by one sentence, it is written. It is written. That tells us we have to read the Bible, memorize it, and know it by heart. Okay, do you remember what we talked about the last week? Hinduism, exactly. Religion of the East. So today we're going to continue. We're going to continue with Buddhism. Okay? Now, what we notice in Hinduism, there is no one God. There are multiple gods. And the thing that was really intriguing in the Hinduism, that there is a God who creates, but he cannot preserve what he created. He cannot protect what he created. There should be another God to protect what the first God created. So that tell me, he cannot be true God. If you do something, you cannot maintain it, he cannot be God. And I said that before. Imagine if you buy a car from a dealer. A car broke down. You go to the dealer and said, oh, I don't know how to fix it. Go to another car dealer, he can fix it you. Then maybe you know what to do. So that was the main thing. There is no one God, there are multiple gods. There is no one book, there are at least 4 books. Okay? And they classify their congregation or their society into 4 levels. It's a kind of disintegration. You make a level, the basic level for the unskilled worker, then the skilled worker, then the technical and normal worker, then the high intellectual and intelligent level. It's like kind of discriminative in a way. It's not broadcasting. I don't know why. Okay, so today we're going to talk about Buddhism. So do you guys know anything about Buddhism? very good. Okay, it's more of a way of living than religion, than organized religion. Okay, do you expect it will have one God or not? They don't have one God. Do you expect them to have one holy book as a Jewish or as a Christian? No, they're not. Very good. Okay. All this religion start in the East. And by East, we mean Far East. By East, we mean the area of India, Pakistan, Bengal, in this area. Okay? Okay, so if we go in history, you think when this started, when the religion of Buddhism started? By the way, there are a lot of people across the world who follow Buddhist. I'm going to show you why. They have some really good aspect to the religion, but it's not perfect. It does not match up to Christianity. But if you are not really educated about your own religion, you can be very easy fooled with Buddhism. So it started around 500 years before Christ in the area of Pakistan and India. Now, a lot of people in India actually worship or follow Buddhism, okay? Remember I said last time, Hinduism supposed to be the main area in India. Hindu from India, actually they're not, they are in Pakistan and outside India. The main religion in India is around Buddhism. Now, do you know roughly like what's the average population of India? No billion. They're close to 1 billion. Okay? They're close to 1 billion. So I mean it's a big country. Big country. So imagine a lot of people follow Buddhism. Don't follow Christ, but follow Buddhism. Okay? So they don't believe in one God, they don't believe in a creator, and don't have a holy book. How this started? How this religion started? First of all, you have to know Buddha, where they follow, is not a person. Buddha is not a name of a person. It's a title. Okay? So there was more than one Buddha. There are multiple Buddhas. And the story is, he was a noble person who tried to work out the misery of human being, tried to solve it. And later on, his teaching, his moral, being transferred to different people who came, and everyone carries the same name or same title, Buddha. But Buddha is not a name of a person. Okay? Interestingly, every Buddha or every teacher will teach the same principle the first one taught. So basically we have the same thing being run over after a couple hundred years. After somebody come with the same principle, with the same teaching. That exactly reminded me with the sacrifice of the Old Testament. They were not enough to cure the human suffering. They were not enough to take away the sin of human being. That's why they have to repeat it over and over and over and over. Same thing. Buddha teaching, they sound good, they sound right, but they're not enough to correct the human past. Not enough to bring people to eternity or heaven. Maria, are you following me? Okay. There are so many Buddhas, and every one of them has a statue or an icon of himself in a big garden. So the story started of this Buddha, that he was a very rich, noble prince from a high family, and this family was so protective of him, so he was kept in a palace. He never got exposure to outside the world. He just was living in this palace. Then one time he desired to go and see what's happening outside the world. So he went out and started to see three events. He saw an old man, then he saw a sick man, then he saw a dead man. He started to wonder exactly what this means. That's the path of all human beings. They're going to get old, they're going to get sick, and they will die. And this news shocked him, because I said he was isolated in a palace. He said, I have to figure out a way that I can break down this cycle. So he tried to. Yeah. I don't know why. He's not going to internet maybe. Sorry for the technical difficulty. I want to see because the picture speaks better than 1,000 words. It's coming. Okay, good. Thank you, Peter. Okay, let's start from here. Okay, so as we said, you notice all the statue of Buddha are actually made of gold. Why? Because in India is the richest country of gold. So they honor their famous teacher by having gold, okay? All their temple made of gold, pure gold. And the gold in India is more precious than the gold in other countries because 24 karat. Everywhere you get 14, 18, maybe 21. So that's how they honor their teacher. So it started around 500 years before Christ, around the area of China and Tibet. They don't have one God or one holy book. This is exactly the area where it's spread right now in the Far East. And there are different divisions, like some are southern, some are eastern, some are western, but they are huge. This is one of the honored statue for Buddha. And I said, it's not a name of a person, it's a title. And everyone will teach the same principle as the previous Buddha before. Okay? There are many Buddhas, so you go to their park, there are not just one, there are multiple of them. And they're everywhere. This is a very famous character that the main one, he actually went to kind of seclusion and meditation until he reached the level of enlightenment, or what's called nirvana, a state of relaxation, free of anxiety, free of pain. And that's what he tried to everyone to reach that level again. As I said, his real name is Siddhartha Gautama. That's the real name of him. But of course, nobody knows his name. It's not very common. Everybody knows him as Buddha. And he was kept in a palace, and he saw the three events of a sick person, a dead person. He once started to go around to the noble and wise people in his country looking for a solution to this misery, try to break down that cycle. He actually, when he figured out that eating can be a source of getting overloaded with carbs and protein and fat and stuff like that, which will decrease your lifestyle, he went to the extreme way of fasting. He fasted so many years until he became like skin and bones. They later figured out he's gonna die from fasting, from extreme fasting, which exactly the opposite of what he aiming. He aiming to extend the life of human till nowhere. So he figured out he's about to die, so he stopped that extreme fasting, but still have some effect in his religion or his teaching. Then somebody advised him to go under a tree and start to meditate. So he stopped working, stopped caring for others. He was just sitting all the time under a tree. People will come to him with food, and he will give them some word of wisdom. and that's called a Bodhi tree. When he reached the final level of nirvana, or the enlightenment, or relaxation, free of anxiety, free of pain, free of suffering, he died. But he didn't die as normal people. His spirit reincarnated into another person, and the other person will carry the title of Buddha, and he will come again and teach the same principle over and over again. By the 3rd century BC, Buddhism almost became the state religion. So everywhere you're going to go in India, you're going to find a huge statue for Buddhas. Big temple, of course, and so many visitors happen there. So if we start to go in detail a little bit about what he exactly believed in and what he's teaching, he's basically focused on human misery. He said humans are miserable creatures. They are born, they live, they eat, they grow up, get sick, and they die. It's a repetitive cycle that ends by nothing except this. Of course, doesn't know anything about incarnation, about redemption, about salvation, about eternal life, about Christ, nothing at all. And there are some ways, he said some ways that make you live this life in a better way, and later on you can enjoy the nirvana. So he said, I'm going to list 4 truths, 4 noble truths. Everyone should believe in those. First of all, suffering exists. No matter where you live, no matter what kind of family you're born in, what kind of social economic status, you're going to have some suffering. The origin of suffering is the lust or sin or the desire for pleasure. Nothing here about the original sin. It's about your actual sin, not the original sin. And there is a way to end the suffering. And he put a way or a path, like a roadmap, how to end the suffering. He came with 8 steps. You follow those 8 steps, you will end the suffering. The first one is to have the right perspective, which means to understand that this, although it is the end of life for many, it's not the end of life, because you can be reincarnated again into another life. So God give you some hope that even if you die, your spirit will come back again. Okay? You have to find the right resolution, which means the right passion and affect in life. You have to have love in your life. You have to be loving and love. You have to love everyone around you. No room for hatred in your heart. And helping others. The third one is the right speech. You have to speak right, which means you don't lie, you don't curse, you don't backbite someone, you don't spread rumors, don't do anything bad with your mouth. You have the right conduct. You stay in a right path. You don't steal, you don't murder, you don't rob someone, you don't kill someone. The right conduct. Right livelihood, which means you have to work. Okay, you have to work, earn a living. Okay, that's why you're seeing all the people who follow this religion are very successful in their work. No matter what kind of job they do. It could be low, it could be high, but they're successful. Not like in the Western world when a lot of people sitting home getting unpaid check. No, in India, people who follow Buddha, they have to work. You have to make the right effort in your life, which means you don't be lazy, don't be sleepy, you don't be sitting back. Everything has to be active. Your life basically, it depends on how much energy you put in. You're being withdrawn, you're being passive, you're going to end your life, you're going to have more misery. You have to have the right mindful, which means take away all the bad feeling and emotion that can distract you. Could be jealousy, could be anger, could be lust after someone or something. Take that away from your mind. Then finally, right concentration. Everything that you do with diligence, you do with hard work, you do with effort, you do with passion. That's why you look at this, a lot of people who are not religious actually look at this 8-step map and say, wow, that's good. What's wrong? And I think it seems very good too. That you have the right thinking, right mind, yes. That I should never feel jealous of anyone, angry at someone. I should have the right conduct in my life. I shouldn't have a bad word in my mouth. I should always be active. No room for lazy people. No room for passive people. Always put the effort. Always be diligent. This is a key for success. That's why a lot of non-religious people follow and love the Buddhism because of their teaching. But was it able to end human suffering? Of course not. Was it able to take away the original sin? Of course not. Was it able to bring you into the eternal kingdom or enjoy the kingdom? Of course not. Because basically there is no God. And there is no book. There is no sacrament. So you follow this 8 steps. What's your goal? What are you aiming to? aim to reach the level of nirvana, which means enlightenment, relaxation, feel of relief, no anxiety, pain-free, war-free. And people who are living in the Western world are always under pressure, or always under a feel of anxiety. Something bad will happen. Maybe I'm going to lose my job. Maybe somebody of my parents will lose a job. Maybe a war will come on. Maybe the price will go up. Maybe I'm going to get sick. Always a life of anxiety in the Western world. While you go to the East in Buddhists, they are very relaxed. Okay? Killing living things, they have stuff that are prohibited. Killing living things, that's why they don't kill animals or birds. Some people here enjoy hunting and gaming and stuff like that. In the East, no, they don't do that. They respect every kind of living. Any kind of human, or not human, even any kind of living creature, they respect that. Don't take what's not given to you, simply. Even it could be a simple thing. If you find something in the street, don't take it. It doesn't belong to you. Unless somebody hands it to you, I give you this, don't take it. Of course, they abstain from sexual misconduct, which is the plague of the Western world. There is no lying or cursing because they watch what they say. They prohibit using drug or alcohol. So this, in addition to the 8 steps, it looks very attractive. Actually, a lot of the famous actor and actress in America follow Buddhism because they believe this is the right way to live. I have to put effort, energy in everything I do. I live the right way. I have the right mind. I put effort. I don't hurt anyone around me. What else I could ask for? They have feast. A feast called Vesak. It's basically commemoration of Buddha birth and enlightenment and this. The 3 events in one time. They have a new year. It's very honored. So this is a picture of the Prime Minister of India standing before the statue of Buddha in the temple, honoring him. So he's very, very respectable. We're talking about something, maybe talking about 800-900 million people follow the religion or follow the path, Buddhism. We're talking big here. There are so many famous temples all over India and Pakistan. And as you see, all their temples are very brightful and very colorful and very expensive. They put all what they got to build the temple. Among the very famous commentator is Dalai Lama. Are you guys familiar with him or heard of him? Okay. So what do you know about him? The Dalai Lama actually is a lead monk who people, supposedly the follower of Buddhism. They live in the north part of India, between India and China, in the Tibet area. And he basically tried to break down the cycle or the affiliation with China. Okay? He tried to make his own follower separate from China, of course separate from India, and have their own life according to the Buddhism. He doesn't have an army yet, he doesn't have a government yet, but he has followers, he has a lot of followers. And he lives very ascetic sort of life. Of course, he's very welcome in America, not just as a figure, a religious figure, but as a political leader, because he's aiming to make a little bit of separation from China. Before him, there are 14 Dalai Lamas, so he's not the first one. Now, if we're going to compare between Hinduism and Buddhism, can you guys come up with any difference in your mind? A lot of information I know, but anything that you think we have said before last time about Hinduism, not mentioned here in Buddhism? Gods, very good. So in Hinduism, there are a lot of gods. When we say there are gods, creator of the world, protector of the world, gods of wealth, gods of money, gods of happiness. Okay, here there is no God. How about holy books? In Hinduism, there are 4 holy books called Veda. In Buddhism, there is no one holy book. Okay? In Hinduism, they classify the society into 4 levels based on their educational level, based on their type of skill. In Buddhism, there is no discrimination. Everybody is at the same level. They both believe in nirvana. They both believe in reincarnation for your own soul. Okay? And they both started in the East. Actually, Buddhism is kind of one of the sons of Hinduism, like a sub-branch or subgroup of Hinduism. Now, what we don't agree with, or what stand different from Christianity compared to Buddhism and Hinduism? What's different from Christianity? Okay. Okay, I agree with you on that. Now, if you notice, all the 8 steps that in Buddhism basically depend on us as effort, human effort. There is no role here for the Holy Spirit. There is no role for the sacrament. Okay, and Jesus himself said, without me you can do nothing. So if you try to stand up by yourself, you never can reach to heaven or happiness. Okay, that was actually a misleading from Buddhism. But people follow him because this is the only way they can figure out. Okay, let's go in the more important steps. First of all, Christianity believe in one God. They don't. Christians believe in the Holy Trinity. They don't. Christians believe in the original sin. They don't. Christians believe of incarnation, redemption, salvation, crucifixion, resurrection, ascension to heaven. They don't. Christianity believes that God is watching over you, protecting you, keep an eye on you, love you, want to do everything to make you happy in earth and heaven. They don't. Because basically there is no God in this religion. Okay? So that's the main difference. They try to reach to happiness in their own way, and that cannot be accessible. Okay? Of course, there is no sacrament, there is no priesthood, and there is no final judgment, and there is no heaven and hell. The last thing we're going to talk about in the religion of the East is Sikhism. Okay? Again, one of this very short presentation here, one of the religion in the Far East, India, Pakistan region. This came from the Punjab. I'm going to show a picture where it is. Of course, people, they don't have accurate recordings, so they go back far out. They said, oh, 1500. 1500 before Christ, basically going back to the time of Moses. 1500 from Christ Moses, which means very old. I don't think it's true, but that's the number they put. And it's founded by Guru Nanak. Guru means teacher, okay? And Sikh means learner. So basically, those are learner from a guru, which is like a great teacher. So those a group of students who want to learn from one teacher. There are at least 10 gurus who shaped this religion, who put all the rules and facts together, and all the Sikh are disciples of this religion. Again, there are so many millions follow them, around 25 million, between United States and Canada and Western Europe. Start in Punjab, which basically the main part is in eastern Pakistan, but also part of eastern India. So again, that region where the Hinduism and Buddhism came up. So what's their main doctrine? Now, this is the one going to talk about God. So now we have different between the two. He's going to talk about God. However, that God basically is God of everyone. He's the God of Christianity, he's the God of Judaism, he's the God of Islam, he's the God of Hindus, he's the God of everywhere. He's the same God for everyone. So it's like a wave basket. I'm putting everything together in one pan. Now we know for sure that you cannot say it is the same God for different religion, because every religion have a different image of their own God, different way of worship of their God, different rules for their God to protect them or keep them or guard them or judge them. So if he said, oh, I have one God for everyone, that's basically a political agenda. That somebody can go, I'm not Republican, I'm not Democrat, I'm for everyone. Okay, that's what it is. So said, you guys fighting among yourself, this religion, some Muslim here, some Jewish here, some Christian here, I'm going to make one God that satisfies everyone. Okay? There is no discrimination based in ethnicity or sex or geographic location. Sounds good. There is incarnation, of course, as most of the religion of the East, that you die, your spirit go into another human being and live another life, then you die, go another one, and so on. Hell to them is permanent stay in earth. So at least that's something good about them. They think if you stay in earth, that's hell. You have to move to different life. You have to move to different creature, different living. And you are part of God somehow. We don't know exactly what's the relation between you and God, but you are part of God. Like a droplet, water droplet compared to the ocean. You are part of the ocean. But what exact relation between you and God, you cannot tell. Now they think there are 5 obstacle or 5 hindrances to stop you from growing spiritually. Lust, anger, greed, ego, pride, attachment to earthly desire, which sound good and very close actually to the Buddhism, because Buddhism almost have the same concept. And in religion can teach you that if you are a lusty person, you're going after lust, of course you're going to have an earthly life and you're going to end yourself maybe sick or poor or torture or slave for something. Greed, people who greed end up in jail most of the time. They either fool other by Ponzi scheme or stealing money or scandal or stuff like that. Ego, lust, attachment to earthly stuff. Now, they have a little bit different view on the worship, because I said they have God. Now, once you have God, you have to worship Him. So now they have to read from a holy book and to meditate on God. So that's different. Now they have a God, and you have to meditate on God, and you have a book, a holy book. You also something good that you have to work and make a good living. So there's no room for a lazy person, no room for a passive taker. You have to be active. You have to do a good job and make good living for yourself, support yourself. Don't count on the government to give you money or to give you food or to give you cars or housing. You have to work. Good value. And you have to serve other at any levels. That's why a lot of those followers actually seem sweeping the street, okay, cleaning roads, visiting sick people that they don't know, visiting nursing people, helping cook for some poor people. Out of good heart, they do that, okay? And they do it to everyone, not just to their own followers. So all these are good values. They have a very standard uniform or outlook. They have this turban, okay, this colorful turban. They have uncut hair and long beard. They usually carry a wooden womb. I don't know why it's wooden, and that's what the style is. Maybe that's the original. You have to carry a wooden womb. And of course, you have this long hair, you have to have some kind of womb with you. You have to have bracelet. You see here, there is a bracelet as a kind of like belonging to this group. The important thing, they have to carry a sword or a dagger, and you have to have some sort of a knife around your waistline, and that's scary. If you go on a subway and somebody next to you with a knife, that's scary, because you know exactly what's the next step you're going to do. So some people actually got scared from their look, and some of them being chased around in the street. Some accused to be terrorists, because looking this way, somebody who's covered all over, long beard and carrying a knife, you know exactly what's his intention. So a lot of them been accused mistakenly, of course, or wrongly accused that they are terrorists. Their holy book is called Guru Granth Sahib. I don't have to remember, it's a long name, but that's what it is. It means great teacher, Lord. Okay. Interestingly, as I said, because their God is God of everyone, so their book also is book from every religion. They have something from Islam, something from Judaism, something from Christianity. So we get mix and match and put in one book, and this is the holy book that we're going to follow. Okay, and interestingly, they should sing it. They don't read it, so it has a tune. Okay, also like liturgy. Liturgy should not be read, it should be sung as a tune. Okay, doesn't have to be like famous singer Abuna Yani, like at least it has a tune, because it's kind of a praise to God. So that's also what they believe. So now we have some little different here in this religion. At least they have a God and they meditate on this God. They have a holy book. The problem is they are universal. They are not specialized. They are universal God for everyone, universal book for everyone. And they have this unique outlook that can be scary to some people. Interestingly, they have a worship place. It's called Gurdwara. And this place, you go there, you read and you pray, and they serve a meal. That's something good. You go to a temple, you go to church, you have to pay for the food. But you go here, they serve a free meal. So it's okay that you go visit this maybe temple in Pakistan, in Punjab. You go attend their prayer, then they serve you some kind of food, you eat. And of course, there's a long, long lines to go into this worshiping place. Something like the temple to the Jewish. Just one big place. That's why a lot of people go there just for the experience. So now, if you wrap up the schism, okay, they have some sort of starting a religion, because they have a God and they have a book, they have meditation on the God, they have a holy book to read from, they have some sort of a worshiping place, okay? But exactly, do you know Jesus Christ? Do you have eternal life? Do you believe in the original sin? Do you believe in the sacrament? No. Okay? On the other hand, all this religion that we talk about, they have some good values to them. At least they believe that you have to be hardworking, you have to be active, shouldn't be lazy, you shouldn't hurt someone by any means, either by talking or by action. So they call for good values, they call for good moral conduct. But that's not enough to make you to heaven. It's not enough to bring you to God. It's not enough to take away your original sin that you're born with. So we study the religion because, as I said before, not to criticize them, not to condemn them or judge them, but to know what's happened around you. At the same time, you appreciate the great blessing that we're born in. We're born in a great religion, Christianity, well-founded. We know exactly what it stands for. We know the symbol of it. We know the sacrament. We know the original sin. Everything is written in one book that's been written over 1,500 years without any single contradiction. On the contrary, everyone who tried to judge or to find an error in the Bible end up to be a Christian. A lot of them end up to be martyr. Maybe I should mention Pope Dionysius, who was Pope number 14. He started his life as a star worshipper. And he saw a woman selling part of Epistle of St. Paul. Of course, he was, as a star worshipper, judged down the Christian and looked down at them. When he started to read from St. Paul Epistle, he loved it. You know how noble this religion is. So the next day, that woman coming back, he asked, "Oh, do you have more of the Paul Epistle?" He said, "Yeah, I have more." So he bought from her. The third time, she said, "Why you have to buy it from me? Just go to the church. All the epistles are there for free." So he went to the church. He read all the epistle of Paul. He loved Christianity. He converted, baptized, became a priest, then became the deacon of Alexandria School, which is the highest rank theology school, then became a pope. And starting by criticizing the Bible, ending up being a pope of the church. So again and again, we know what happened around us in the world, we know other religion, not to criticize, not to judge, not to go into dialogue or even dispute with a follower, but just to understand, appreciate what you have in your religion. Okay? Any question?